Hey everyone, welcome back. So as you might know, room makeovers can be a huge investment of time and physical labor and money. So I wanted to give you guys 12 really easy home project ideas that you could complete this weekend, just to show you that chipping away at small little projects over time can result in that big room makeover feeling. And for these ideas specifically, I'm going to be shopping only at IKEA because it's a super accessible and approachable place to get started no matter your budget or style. But I don't want to give you guys just a bunch of IKEA hacks or DIY projects. I want to highlight the ways that you can style or organize or get that vintage look and feel. So let's get into it. So instead of spending hours scrolling on Facebook Marketplace looking for the most perfect, unique piece, especially within your price range, or trying to justify something on Cherish or First Dibs, curate one little small area or corner of your home with some IKEA items that mimic that designer look and feel. So for example, if you want to get started in your office, I really love those Bisley drawer cabinets that came out in like 1958. They've been reproduced nowadays and they're about $200 for one cabinet, but you could go to IKEA and get the Helmer cabinet, which is pretty much a close dupe of it for a third of the price. IKEA only has it in about 3 colors, but you could always spray paint it or change the knobs. You can also add custom labels. And I personally have the blue one and I like that one the best as I think it looks the most vintage. This gives you a chance to organize all of that clutter in your office like cords and papers in an aesthetically pleasing way. I personally put this motor Mullen lamp on top of mine, which is also from IKEA. And I really love this lamp because I think it does kind of imitate that Ptolemaio lamp from Design Within Reach that's quite expensive. It doesn't look exactly like that lamp, but I think it still gives the same look and feel as it's quite large and angular, and I use it as a really nice spotlight on my Cornish chair for reading. But let's say you've been wanting to really add that vintage look and feel into your bedroom. I really like those Marcel Brewer tables, but they're about $800, and IKEA has this Bag Boda side table for about like 80 bucks, I think, and it looks like such a close match in style and size. All you would have to do to get it closer looking to that original iconic piece is to replace the top and bottom boards with some real wood, or you could even put wood veneer on it, or you could even just cover it in contact paper that looked like wood. And you could use these as your side tables, whether it's vertical or horizontal, and then you could just style them with some secondhand decor items and books and a cool lamp. Maybe like even the Fado lamp that's at IKEA, it's only $30 and it has that really cool, mid-century space age look. And my last example for this little exercise is if you want to add that vintage look and feel to your living room. In the early 1960s, the IKEA catalog said that every room should have some nice stools. So if you've been needing some extra seating in your living space and you can't fit a big accent chair or another sofa, you could get this Holmesjo stool that was originally designed in 1963, and it has this really nice leather top and then like a solid wood base, and it's super small and stackable, so you could even put it under a coffee table depending on the size, or just off to the side as like a little side table when you're not using it. And if you didn't entirely love the black leather or the tone of the wood, you could always stain it a different color, like something darker, maybe closer to a teak wood, or you could reupholster it in like a cool funky fabric, or you could just do both and completely make it look like a brand new stool. So whether these items are your taste or not, you can still take away the idea that you might be able to find a piece to aesthetically organize all of your items, or incorporate some smaller seating ideas, or to add in something a little bit unexpected or a unique piece to just change the whole look and vibe of your space. Design one little area in your kitchen that looks as good as it functions. So maybe that's a little coffee bar area or a designated prep zone, or maybe it's a little corner that hosts all of your everyday cooking essentials. So if your kitchen's feeling really cluttered and that deters you from cooking meals at home because you don't really have a designated prep area, I really love IKEA's Kungsfor stainless steel cart. It's really nice because it's been designed to be the same height as an average countertop or oven and stove, and it comes with 3 shelves and some wheels so you can move it around if needed. It's super functional and clean line, and it kind of gives you that professional chef's kitchen vibe, and it fits in with most kitchens that have the typical stainless steel or black appliances, so it feels just like an additional appliance that belongs in the kitchen. You can use the top of it for extra prep space, and the top tray even comes off, and if you don't have additional storage in your kitchen, you can use this for extra appliances or your cookbooks or even like a produce basket. But let's say you're wanting a little bit of a design upgrade in your kitchen and you want your space to feel a little bit more curated, I would try updating the small things that you reach for the most. So for example, IKEA has this Valvarad dish brush that has like a stainless steel handle and I think like a birch head that you can replace. So it's a lot more sustainable and just looks a little bit more high end than a typical plastic brush that you leave out. It also has a little hole on the end so you can hang it on a hook in a super cute way. IKEA also has tons of really cute dish towels. So if you have some grimy dish towels, I like the Casa Bayer ones as well as these like Rennig ones, and there's tons of them. I actually just recently threw out a ton of my old dish towels and bought a ton of IKEA ones because they're so affordable. I think all the different designs and the simple colors makes them really easy to mix and match. I also really liked their San Viva apron. It's like this really nice washed out black linen material and it just kind of feels professional. And if you don't know, aprons can cost a lot of money. So this one is totally affordable and you could also hang it on a cute hook in your kitchen to add a fun little accent. IKEA also sells this thing called the Hull Tarp. It's a magnetic knife block. Basically, you can mount it on your wall so that you can keep your knives off the counter or out of the drawer, which just saves you more space and kind of adds to that chef's kitchen vibe. I like to achieve that more curated look with my IKEA pieces by pairing them with decor that is useful and beautiful, and hopefully has some level of craftsmanship to elevate the more simple IKEA items. For example, something that I recently upgraded to sit on my counter full time as more functional decor is this citrus juicer I found from Verve Culture on the Uncommon Goods website, who happens to be the sponsor of today's video. It's handmade and has just enough character to not look like clutter on my countertop, and I think it does look pretty amazing sitting on top of my Kung's Fours IKEA cart. If you don't know, Uncommon Goods is this awesome curated online marketplace to find tons of handmade designs by small artisans and makers. Their collection is full of pieces that are functional and beautiful and made with care, just like this juicer. And because of that, it's something that I actually use every day. But I also think it would make a fantastic gift for someone who just loves to cook or mix drinks or just appreciates a really purposeful and intentional item. As we are getting closer to the holidays, I keep thinking about who I need to shop for, and Uncommon Goods has been such a good resource to brainstorm and find really unique gifts I probably wouldn't find anywhere else. There are so many specific categories to search through, so no matter who you're shopping for, you can find items made by independent makers from all over the world, or eco-friendly home goods, and just really clever devices that you can use all around your house. But of course, I think my favorite pieces are the ones that are handmade. Uncommon Goods is also a certified B Corp, so sustainability is more than a tagline, it's really how they operate. For example, with every purchase, they donate $1 to a nonprofit of your choice. So if you're starting to think about gifting, or you just want to find something really cool for yourself, you can get 15% off your next gift with the link in the description below. Or you can just use this QR code. Just scan it with your phone to check out all the cool stuff that they have. I'm sure you'll find something good for yourself or for the other people that are on your list this holiday season. So thank you so much to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring this video, and let's move on to our next weekend project. So if you're fed up with your disorganized spaces, then here's your weekend project. Take one of those spaces that is constantly stressing you out and give it a little mini reset with some affordable IKEA products. For me, it's usually my closet, but for you, it might be the piles of clothes on your bedroom floor, or maybe it's a pile of things that always just end up getting clumped together and left out because they don't really have a home. So let's take, for example, maybe the dreaded hall closet. This is a great spot to take advantage of vertical space. I really like IKEA's Grudgig shoe rack. I don't know how to pronounce any of this and no one does, so it's fine. This little product was originally designed for shoes, so you put some shoes underneath and some shoes on top, and then you buy another rack and just keep stacking it vertically for shoe storage. But you don't have to use it just for shoes. You can use it for sweatshirts or blankets or storage bins. Because they're only like $5 or $6 each, you can buy a ton of these and use them in all the different spaces of your home that need organization. So you can put them on the top shelf of your hall closet, or you can put them underneath all of your hanging clothes in your closet. And if you wanted to make it easy on yourself to store a ton of little small things, you could get these up Nofsad boxes and put in small things like pet supplies or gloves or candles and stack those on these little shoe racks. think think this is quite possibly the most affordable storage hack out there. But let's say that you have stuff that needs to be out on display or easily accessible, but you don't want to always just have all that clutter showing. I really like the Bullock bamboo boxes. I have some of these on my breezeway, and I've been storing a bunch of garden materials and barbecue materials in them, especially since I don't have a lot of clothes storage out there or even drawers out there. I also had these Smara boxes a long time ago. These were really great because they have lids. You just can't stack them. I personally stained mine to be like a darker brown color. During the pandemic, we got these and put our Nintendo and PlayStation in there, and then had the cord going out the back, so you never really had to look at those things, and it didn't overheat in the box because it had a bunch of holes in it. I also had this really ugly diffuser from Amazon that was super cheap, and I just put it inside one of these baskets, and then it came out of the holes and you never really saw it. So I thought that that was an interesting way to use these boxes as well. I also really like these Plug Farah boxes. They're made out of metal and they have this nice off-white lacquer color, and I like the two smaller sizes because they look a little bit less farmhouse than the big square one with the handle on it. I think they have a really nice vintage vibe to them, so you could really just set them out anywhere in your office or living room, and I don't think it would distract from what you're trying to accomplish style-wise. And then these Gardas Guard boxes, I think just have a really cool industrial, simple feel to them. If you had just some shelving in your office, or maybe you have one of those nightstands that has a big opening on the bottom, you could put two of these on either side of your bed and it wouldn't look as bad as having like one of those soft bins. I think because these have just more of a simple structural industrial look to them, it just makes things look a lot cleaner. And then if you have a bunch of little items that do need to be put out, they shouldn't be put in a bin because you need direct access to them quite often. IKEA has this little Beck Fam spice rack, and you could stain it or paint it. You can also put, 3 in a row horizontally or vertically, whether it's putting in like your day-to-day perfume bottles, or maybe it's for some extra wall storage in the bathroom to put your toothbrush and Q-tips or toothpaste. You can even use it as like a little shelf to put your phone and iPad for charging. I also really like these little no-jig organizers. They kind of have like an off-white beigey color, so they don't feel like stark white storage pieces that you would get from anywhere else. And they fit perfectly in a medicine cabinet or in a drawer. And because they're so modular, you can organize just about everything down to the last square inch. So your project this weekend is to get organized, maybe by using some of these IKEA pieces so that you can enhance your day-to-day life and up the functionality of your spaces and make it more aesthetically pleasing. So if you want to design a little functional outdoor retreat for you or your family and friends, then here's your weekend project. Give your patio or balcony or breezeway or front porch a little intentional reset by cleaning it up, and then layer on just some textural design pieces that can make it feel super exciting and intentional. So for example, if you want to define a space in one of your outdoor areas and give it a big design feature, I would try using the run-in decking tiles. I really love the wood ones as well as like the faux grass ones. These instantly change the look and feel of a patio or a balcony or a porch, and they're really easy to install. You just need to have somewhat of a flat surface to work with. I really like combining multiple versions together. You could use the black and white ones to create a fun checkerboard pattern. You can also saw these down with a jigsaw or a regular circular saw if you need them to fit into a specific shape. And I think these are also a really great idea if you have just a dust bowl of a backyard. You could put down some pebbles to just create a solid foundation, and then put these tiles on top, and then eventually maybe add a little sofa outside and a table and chairs and an umbrella. But let's say you want to create a little functional area for entertaining and cooking. I love the whole Grill Scar line at IKEA, and I outfitted my breezeway with some of these items. So they have like open shelving versions, and then they also have ones that have doors on them and sides, so it feels more like a cabinet. And because they are black and stainless steel, they match just about any barbecue. So I created mine into like an L shape to create this like faux outdoor kitchen. And I call it a faux outdoor kitchen because there's like no plumbing with a sink and no real gas lines or anything, but it pretty much looks built in. They also have tons of space and storage inside of them, so you can really fill them up. And it doesn't exactly have to be for food prepping and barbecuing. You could also use these just for plant potting and storing garden supplies, or just entertaining and having like a little pop-up bar in the backyard. I also really like their Vardagan like drink dispenser. You could use a little stand that is purchased separately as just a pot stand if you wanted to keep your pots off the ground. There's a bunch of options within the whole outdoor line that you could really just customize for whatever space you have. And if you're living with a smaller outdoor space, or maybe you just have a lot of outdoor things and no real storage for it, and you want something a little bit more affordable, I really like the Nod bin with the lid. I store bird feed in mine so that the squirrels don't get to it, or you could keep your plant potting soil in there if you're trying to fill your home with a lot more houseplants. This is an easy way to hide that bag. Or you could even use it as like a little compost bin to keep outside your back door until you dump it into the green bin or the compost bin in your backyard. Or you could even just use it for general recycling, like cans and cardboard and things like that. You could also make it really fun by spray painting it a color that you really like, or even just changing the handle on top of the lid. They also have some really great chair pads that are called like Melinda, I think, and they're super comfy and really easily fit on just about any outdoor chair. Also, if you've been looking for pots for your plants, you probably know how expensive they can be. So IKEA does have some interesting ones, but I think my favorite is just this clot lawn one. I got the navy one with the little tray on the bottom, and it just is a super perfect size, and it's very minimal, and I love the color on it. So if you want to affordably refresh your bedroom, here is your weekend project. Just swap out your bedding. That's it. You don't have to buy brand new furniture like a bed frame or side tables, or add 100 different throw pillows. Just build a color or pattern story with your duvet and your sheets and your pillowcases. It's one of the fastest ways to make your bedroom feel really refreshed and brand new again. So if you start with a really versatile base like the Sol Fibla duvet set, it's just a simple pinstripe, and I personally have this one in beige, but I really love the blue and green as well. It's really classic and neutral, and it wears really well over time. I've had it for like a little bit over a year now maybe, but if you don't like that one specifically, there are a few other versatile duvet sets that I really like at IKEA. So first is this Lind Vargmol. It's this really simple muted blue check duvet set that is also reversible. So the other side is kind of like a grayish color. I like the blue side personally. In the same vein, I like the Torntus duvet set. I really just love this like simple blue and white check. I think it's a really easy pattern to layer with. So for these examples, I'm showing you something that lives more in like the blue color story, as well as something that also has a linear pattern, as that's something that you can easily mix and match. It's super versatile. There's also the Blaze Nap. I think this is made out of flannel, so it just depends on if you're a hot sleeper, if you're living in a cold climate, but I really love the look of this plaid vibe. It's just got a really warm, cozy vibe to it. Also, there's this one. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce it. Smanunanort. I don't know, but I just really like the ripply texture to it. I think it has more of a light and airy feel. Either way, I think all of these have this really vintage mixed textile look to them. I also really like this Skogskaval quilt. It's really pretty. It kind of looks like something that you would buy from schoolhouse. I also really like this really bright blue blanket that you could just throw on the end of the bed. It's just such a statement, and I think it does have a more vintage look to it. You almost could add like a little satin trim to it to make it look like a vintage blanket. They also have it in green and orange as well. And then this Ang's Dark Vargmol one that in the red stripe kind of gives me like holiday vibes. So if you wanted to switch up your bedding for like the Christmas season, I think putting on these like red striped sheets with a simple duvet and like a nice throw at the end could really just change the whole feel in your room. And then I think these Piltenvin sheets are really interesting because they come in this really vibrant blue. And I think if your entire bed was just this color, it would be super fun. And then you could add one of those Stockholm blankets at the end. Or you guys know that I've been talking about powder blue and like a dark chocolatey brown. So I think that these sheets would be really great for that. And then you could add in these sheets that are more of this dark chocolatey brown and like a percale material. And then maybe just add in some of these pillowcases for a different color. Or lastly, I used to have this like Olvide fitted sheet. I really love the blue color and it feels really, really nice. And then I would pair this with something that was more of like burgundy pillowcases and maybe a really simple like beige pinstripe duvet. It really just all depends on your style and preferences, but those are just a few of the things that I like at IKEA that feel a little bit more interesting that you could easily mix and match. It's such a simple project and it does take a little bit of thinking and experimenting, but it's super impactful. So whether you're organizing or restyling or just trying to make your home feel a little bit more put together. These are all really realistic updates that you could accomplish in one weekend. If you found this video helpful, then definitely give this video a big thumbs up, or you can even hype it now on your phone. There's a little hype button and you can just give me hype points if you want to boost my channel into the algorithm. Other than that, stay subscribed for more content coming your way, like Annie's bedroom makeover and some other fun projects in the future. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.